Welcome, everyone. Thanks very much for joining our session on digital humans and the future of work in AC. I will be presenting 5 AI trends from GITEX and Expand North Star last month in Dubai. I've been there with Oruk, the startup. And actually, these trends related to what is transforming our industry, AC, so construction, architecture, engineering, and specifically teams and companies. So this presentation is not tech or not tech only. We would relate the trends, 5 trends with the business itself, AC, and with how our teams, we individually, our teams and companies work or will work in the future. My name is Dr. Miljan Mikic. I'm a senior academic at the University of Leeds and CEO and founder of a construction platform and startup Oruk.net. So a bit about myself. I mentioned University of Leeds and Oruk. So what do I teach? I teach at the University of Leeds at the Master of Science of Engineering in Engineering Management. I teach business strategy for engineers, organizational performance, organizational behavior and theory. And also I've been teaching earlier project and risk management. So I come from the industry and understand the industry itself in the core. Apart from that, I worked a lot in the industry. I'm founder and CEO, as mentioned, of the platform Oruk. I will tell a bit more about it just in a second later. I've been involved a lot in major project management and then also in consulting, both for international financing institutions and then large and medium private and public sector companies. So that's kind of the background. What we do at University of Leeds, we offer actually through this program I mentioned, management education for engineering and for the future. So it's very related to this session. It's an MSc program. It's fully online and it's one of the first in the UK launched as fully online as far as 2019. And very at the high level of production, of learning interactive materials and so on. So University of Leeds is one of the top ranked UK universities, belongs to this Russell group of universities, and is based in Yorkshire. It's a beautiful area. Some of the advantages of this program is that you can study while you work. So this is beneficial both for companies and engineers or students in this sense. And most of our students are actually working while studying. You network with peers across the world. We have a lot of students from the Middle East, specifically Emirates, Saudi Arabia, but other countries. Then all other kind of continents are represented as well. And these are people who come with a background from engineering typically, and then aspiring towards management or already working as project managers, construction managers, or high-level managers. Interestingly, there are multiple entry points during the year. So there are 6 entry points, and it's interesting from that angle as well. There is a link here, and we will share also the link afterwards in the comments for the program. Apart from this one, we have also an MSc in AI directly, in artificial intelligence, which is more like tech-oriented, not management one, but could be interesting for some of you from the tech side, I mean. I do not teach at that one, but I'm aware of that one, and we will share also about that one in the comments. So I hope that's interesting. About Oruk as the second kind of leg of my business endeavors, it's actually a platform, a construction-related, AC-related, where we offer the fastest matching of talent with opportunities, with project companies, open jobs, open positions, both for part-time, full-time recruitment, as well as for tenders, where companies just seek to compile a team to apply for tenders. Then, if they win, they decide if they will engage. Actually engineers and experts who apply there. And that's covered or supported by AI, where we say AI meets global engineers and top-tier companies. You can explore Oruk at Oruk.net. It's most of the services are completely free for industry professionals, for individuals, we mean. That's for engineers, engineering managers, project managers, etc., where you can find jobs or new jobs, opportunities. You can expose yourself to educational courses, recommend a colleague, and earn some benefits, and then also be part of the community. So stay up to date with within the field of expertise and interests, such as this session today. For companies which are actually paying clients, we offer recruitment, so instant access to top choice candidates. Tender service, I mentioned, assemble personnel you need for tender application very quickly, up to 7 days. Education packages for companies, but then also on the kind of retaining staff and managing this high turnover we have in the industry, more than 50% after COVID on average across countries. We have predictive analytics. We have developed that relatively recently to help support turnover management by identifying and early warning about the risk of potential leave, and then also identifying top performance or top performing aspects within the teams, within the companies, where you can get also measures recommended for to allow high retain. And apart from that, helping companies with a bit of employer branding and marketing within the industry. Some of our clients from the Middle East markets can be seen here on the screen, and from the Southeastern Europe market, where we are originally, where we have started originally, are also presented here in the screen. So having said that, we are coming to GITEX and Expand North Star, so two sister events last month in Dubai. Been there in the beautiful and ever expanding, city of Dubai. We are often there for business, Riyadh, Dubai as well. But it was a beautiful location. The event we participated in was part of the was based in the Dubai Harbor. Which is quite interesting. It's a beautiful development mix, in the sense of you have kind of industrial fair where was this event based, but you also have business, residential parts. You have the harbor itself, and then there is a small airport in the middle of the bay. So which is amazing. When you look through the window from your stand with the big windows, you can see small airports. You can see small airplanes just going off, and that's really interesting, and that's a good picture, I think, image of Dubai. The event itself was really inspirational, and as a matter of fact, it really triggered my mind and moved me towards packing this session and trends that are related to AI. There are so many trends, of course, related to AI, which are industry agnostic or more related to tech and some other industries. But what are the trends that are relevant for our industry specifically? So that's what we presented. We were one of these trends, kind of, in the construction tech, as Oruk presented there in one of the stands. But if you can imagine, the thing that triggered me every morning there, so it was a couple of days, but every morning the summary of a previous day was on this conference, as opposed to many conferences before, or industry conferences where I often go with a university role. The summaries of a previous day were done by an AI avatar. So we can discuss how these avatars look like, what is the value. This is one of the things we'll present today. But here on the screen is actually from one of the stages, and this kind of avatar was presenting what was happening and what were the main insights from every previous day. The tool is developed by Quantex and was used across GITEX and Expand North Star. So it's one of the triggers I mentioned. Well, that's my background and my kind of setting related to AI, both inspiration-wise and professional-wise. I wanted now to ask you, what do you see in AI for you? I mean, for you yourself or for your business, could be both. There is a small survey we prepared here, so please have your say. I'll give a minute for this. You will see when you open this link, either through a QR code or through this link, and my colleague Sanya, who is there supporting us on the LinkedIn live chat, will share also this link there. So it's Mentimeter. It's an interesting tool and nice, convenient for checking these real-time kind of perceptions and small survey aspects. So please, if you can, just add 1 and up to 3 benefits or values you see in AI for you. And then we'll look at this together. So that's kind of real-time insights. If this is okay, please. Okay. I hope technically you can manage this. And let's see what do we have. Oh, no results yet. Let's refresh. Yeah, we see useful resource. That's good. Let me switch back to the QR code. If you see it. What's the benefit? What's the value in AI for you so far? I mean, we're all on one side excited and we use it operationally. It helps us, and we have some concerns, of course, maybe even scared a bit. And we see a lot of threads, a lot of insights from social media, from YouTube, generally, for information channels where you get information from. And we'll explore 5 of these today, just starting specifically and exactly after this slide. But let's see if you can share, and please be open. This is just anonymous kind of one word or a concept that you see in AI for you. Okay, good. We can see topics like brainstorm. It can help us, yeah, for brainstorming, for creativity, to be more creative, foster creativity, enable creativity. We can see analysis. It helps us for analysis. Yeah, good. Okay, let's just refresh once more. Okay, these are some good answers we have so far. So you can continue doing this. You can also share it and conduct later, so we can check it and it's open. So let's see together what is the trend one. Can you guess what this is? I think we all can. Although it's a bit older movie, starting from early 2000s. Mr. Smith or Mr. Smiths, yeah, looking for Mr. Anderson. So it's from a Matrix movie, but what do the guy or these people represent? They represent agents, right? So we hear a lot about AI agents, and they're indeed transforming productivity. They're taking us from chatbots to co-workers, becoming co-workers. In what sense? So basically, what was noticeable at GITEX, but also generally across industry, we can define agents, AI agents, as autonomous digital co-workers that can conduct a range of tasks and operation without or with a minimal human supervision. So in this sense, they're moving from chatbots to conducting much more. There are different types of AI agents. First ones are chatbots, typically used in customer service. So they do prompting and responding, checking information, giving you back. Then there are task agents, which are basically virtual assistants, and they can conduct more than just prompting and responding. They can conduct a specified range of tasks and automate these tasks to support your workflow. So either individual or team or organizational workflow. And then the third level would be in AI agents would be autonomous or multi-agents that apart from working alone in conducting activities, tasks to support workflows, communicate with other agents and collaborate to support wider range of activities and operations. Examples could be resource allocation, inventory, supply chains, traffic flow. So these are more or less, industry agnostic ones, but in terms of AEC, where we see them, we can get to know, or we might already know about some solutions, which are here, namely BuildDots, which actually helps automate the planning process and progress tracking on the site with video material and photos. So gets automated progress tracking based on that. A similar tool is Disperse, where they say they actually do progress tracking and more specifically automated progress reports based on photos from the site. So these tools would belong more to task agents, as example of task agents. And going further to autonomous or multi-agents, we can speak of Versatile, where Versatile combines sensors put on cranes to optimize material handling on sites. And with doing that, they also conduct a lot of predictive analytics, so they can support your planning and site organizational process. They're mostly focused on steel industry, or at least they started from there. And then Antplan as another tool, again in autonomous agents kind of example, where what they actually do is they de-risk the planning process by checking your schedules and analyzing disruptions, delays, and providing multiple scenarios and predictive possibilities for future activities that are still to come. And with that, they give predictive insights, analytics, and even recommendations for resources allocation or reallocation. Of course, human judgment, and we'll speak about this, has to be an kind of overlayer on all these tools examples. And then there are leading industry agnostic platforms that you should be aware of when it comes to AI agents, and that you can use and explore using in your individual and organizational practice. And these are, of course, well-known Microsoft Copilot, then Adapt AI and Crew AI, which help not only for Microsoft tools, but for a range to automate and connect in an agent sense other tools that could be also Google tools, or Slack, CRM, finance tools, ERP tools, etc. And AutoGPT that runs automated assistants or virtual assistants. So these are some of the names and brands, and these are some of the AC applications. What I like to offer also from my angle, of a management teacher, academic, and on the other side, being in the industry, are some strategic advice when it comes to these trends. So for the first trend, I would like to emphasize here that for AI agents, what you can do is you can start with pilot programs. So individually, smaller scale, and checking firstly for task agents before going to more autonomous agents, and while maintaining human validation loops when doing that. So, okay, that was the first trend, and we used a movie there at the beginning. So Mr. Smith, Mr. Anderson. The thing you should have in mind here when connecting actually areas of task management and workflows, the areas where AI agents could help in connecting and getting, prompting, receiving information, doing tasks are, of course, BIM, BIM, HR, Aspect, CRM, Finance, ERP. Another movie that should help us, guess the trend too. So what is this? What do we see here? Humans? Not really. Yeah, right. Or at least partially, only partially, humans. So avatars. Yes. Avatars are another big trend that was spotted on GITEX, and that is here to stay in our industry as well. Although we might be, suspectful, we might be scared even, avatars move AI use in our industry from co-workers that are represented by AI agents in the first trend to digital humans. And what are avatars? Avatars are defined as AI-powered human-like interfaces for interaction and learning. So they're human-like, and I've checked a lot of the demos on GITEX and elsewhere. They're still not, representing fully, humans, also emotional kind of expressions and the range of aspects there, but are getting closer. And please have in mind, we don't speak here about videos that are just, derived from scripts, AI videos and avatars in videos. We speak here about interaction capacity and features, which are really, coming and are already there for many sectors and also for our sector. And that's why we look at this as a coming trend. So what do we see here? We see the use of avatars. Here is, in a visual way, one example with an interaction capacity, for example, in the health and safety sector, where it's not only used for onboarding, for training, but for also checking, inspection, and monitoring. So yeah, I know it's a bit scary, but it's still here. The characteristics or benefits of avatars that are vital for the industry applications are that these tools are adaptable, they allow or enable deeper interaction, and they are by design multilingual. So this also gives them the power of scaling or support scalable solutions in many industries. And they're already being used a lot in Horeca and hotels, restaurants as virtual receptionists, hosts. But also, as we have seen in the Emirates and Saudi markets, they're used even in schools or with governments, B2G, and then for schools in terms of tutoring. AI avatars are becoming, on a small scale, being tested, but already applied as well as AI tutors, even for early stages, key stage one, so year one, year two for kids. And that's also, probably very beneficial and needed. And there is opportunity there, both from the business side and from the side of lack of, qualified, skilled workforce, teachers, etc. From the other side, it's a bit, can be questioned because we try to move kids away from the screens, and then we put them in front of avatars. So that's a thing to consider from that angle. In our industry, where specifically we can use, and they're already being used, and you should know about this, the tools that are being used are the platforms Synthesia, Soul Machines, HeyGen, and UniQ, which are actually tech tools that are being combined with the AC company needs for visual training and monitoring, as I provide the example here. So for safety tutorials and inspection, for onboarding programs, regardless of the hierarchy levels, both for white collar, so to say, blue collar workers, and for performance reviews, those dull kind of activities that have to be done and are next in the stage of being transformed with avatars potentially. Then for clients and talent engagement, I know it's a bit sensitive, especially a relationship with clients, but what these have been already used, the avatars, are, for example, 24/7 or on-demand presentations in the real estate sector, where they present, space use, both to clients, developers, and to end users or buyers. This could be done, whenever there is a demand through the website and other dedicated apps. They could do also project updates. They could solve Q&As. On another angle, HRM avatars can really help, and they're already doing so in talent prospecting, recruitment, career fairs, where they represent company from the marketing side, employer branding, and HRM. What is still to be explored, and is kind of my view and my suggestion, is knowledge transfer and collaboration, because many companies basically have their knowledge captured in some ways, and AI avatars can help in capturing further and sharing expert knowledge across global teams, so multinational offices, multi-regional site and head office, etc. And then also with subcontractors and partners, communication tracking, like versioning, project tracking, and so on. What are some examples I always like to give, and that's the purpose of this session, for specifically used AI avatars in our industry. Skanska, Vinci, and Boyages Construction, so big contractors, are already employing these solutions for specifically H&S sector, so for virtual training in terms of health and safety, and for onboarding. Then on the client engagement side, there is a local Dubai developer, Smart World, which combines HeyGen, a tool to actually communicate and support real estate sales management, customer relationship activities. And then on the other side, Trimble partners with UniQ. Trimble is a software company where they apply AI avatars for client relations, but in the design stage, communication mostly. And then for knowledge transfer and collaboration, an opportunity I would see is for an example of a company of Arup that I'm well aware about, and that they have international, global expertise centers across the world, different regions, and they already exchange knowledge, and the knowledge is captured in a structured way. So AI avatars would really be helpful, to younger colleagues or more remote colleagues, which which are asking, for certain prompting for certain information, or asking a guidance when doing a project, which they haven't met before. For example, seismic engineering being a very strong point for Europe in Southeastern Asia, and then other regional centers actually tap into this expertise when they need it. And AI avatars would be really helpful for that. What is the strategy here? Firstly, there are risks. I mentioned some of these risks, and you can hear it also from my voice. And in some moments, we're looking at this critically, of course. Authenticity and trust gaps. So if I would ask you directly, I think we all would be questioning ourselves. Are we ready to accept fully, that we interact with an avatar? I tested that in the business. I tested that on GITEX, and it is beneficial and it is powerful, but there is a layer of of not that much of a trust or a bit of suspicion in between, and that's logical, and I think that's legit, absolutely. So the strategy again for this aspect, for this trend, to begin pilots internally within an organization, as big names are doing, for just some initial training, for onboarding, and then check, measure trust. That's very important, specifically in our more traditional industry, AC industry, is being among the later adopters of innovation, but nevertheless, this innovation is being pushed, is heavily invested in, and it is here to stay for sure, specifically avatars. And AI also in one form or another. So measure trust and impact, how beneficial it really is, and then potentially move externally if you're in position of, some parts of clients, or external talent engagement, prospecting, talent pooling, etc. So this was the trend 2 here. The trend 3, we move to the sphere of design, engineering design. And if the previous trend was about deeper support, predictive support, then this one takes us further and takes us deeper into the core engineering sphere of design, where AI comes now as a design partner, which could not only, analyze, check, and give some recommendations, but can further on give some prediction and give further elaboration, some insights that could really help our decision making. So in this sense, the AI helps us in the design aspect generate with give, being or giving the tools constraints, objectives. You can have multiple design iterations. AI can support help optimizations by evaluating options in terms of cost, time, structural performance, energy efficiency, embodied carbon. And there are tools that do this already. So Autodesk SpaceMaker helps us do more automated feasibility analysis in 3D environment with predictive analytics and suggestions. Decision making needs to stay human. That's one of the important points. TestFit is also an interesting tool. There are many tools in this field, and I'm sure if you're into engineering design or reviewing design, at least, you would be familiar with this or with some other tools. But here are some recommendations I kind of pointed out. TestFit helps analyze and optimize site use and plot organization. So it gives us, a limitless number of options and analysis related. And Finch is an interesting tool, which is oriented more toward interior architecture and inner space organization, office, residential, and how to optimize this in an automated way. So what these tools as examples give us? They give us acceleration, but not per se. Acceleration is not the goal here. The goal is to use acceleration to become smarter, to design smarter. So faster iteration cycles, uncovering solutions that potentially human teams would not consider. And in that way, potentially, I'm not saying always, but I've seen cases, and I'm sure you have as well, where design teams have, ended up with nearly there, but a bit suboptimal solution in certain segment. So these tools, AI is really have or can have a measurable impact here with giving us more optimal or the most optimal solutions for different parameters, different aspects. So instead of a strategy here, what I wanted to emphasize is actually that the future of design is surely hybrid. So please have in mind that the AI tools are not the only ones in the process. AI tools generate and optimize, while engineers apply judgment, creativity, and context. And I believe this will never change. The partnership is important, and the partnership amplifies human expertise rather than replacing it. And while saying that, I have to also note something that is not a trend, and instead that is a timeless principle of integrity. Very important concept, and we can look at it from different angles. It's typically defined as trying to have honor, ethics, or appropriate ethical view, be fair, be transparent, and have ethical or moral conduct. Could be professional, could be personal, could be academic. But what is important in this context of AI trends, and I say it's not a trend, it's outside of trends, but it has to be emphasized, integrity will always remain human, or at least for a decent timeline in the future. And that is a good thing. Also, although this is a responsibility, and responsibility always comes with freedom, because AI helps us free some time and do things in a smarter way. We have still, and we need to have in mind that we have a responsibility of integrity and ethical conduct. And we can speak of academic integrity at University of Leeds. This is really important. So not just submitting work and showing what you have done, but also how you have done it. Stating what you have used, not just AI, but academic sources, citations, references, and then we can speak on the other side of engineering integrity. And in engineering integrity, there is an interesting technical concept where integrity in technical terms can be described as ability to bear, structurally bear, load, or to bear still while being under load. And metaphorically speaking, the engineering, other side, ethical integrity is exactly about that. So it's easier to bear when there is no load. When there is load, and that's a management load, that's tight deadlines, that's so many things, the pressure, it's harder to bear. And that's where integrity comes as of course important and is being shown. And there are many cases, unfortunately, where engineers, in a way, unfortunately, contributed towards decision making under management pressure, or having more of a management hat, business goals, profit, and deadlines, etc. And then these projects, these endeavors ended up not so well, even with some catastrophic outcomes. So integrity is very important, is specifically and especially in the context of AI. Going further, if we spoke in trend 3 about predictive design, so predictive capabilities or ability are even stronger, or at least equally stronger, when it comes to project and contract controls. So what it gives us here, it gives us smarter oversight, fewer disputes, and hopefully more successful projects, because we all know, I believe, this citation from one of the mostly cited authors in major projects. So Professor Ben Fleetwood from the University of Oxford, that more than 50, and in some sectors more than 60% of projects end up not fulfilling its original goals. And goals or objectives are, in shorter terms, cost, time, and quality, and in longer terms, sustainability, measured by social and environmental impact and some other criteria. So the projects are not ending up successfully, and that's a fact, inside. So AI, we can ask for help, and hopefully there is a good capacity here. So what we can use is a combination of digital twins already there, already on the market, not per se AI, but have been, continuation of development, innovation from BIM to digital twins, and then use construction intelligent platforms boosted by AI. So opportunities that this brings us is automated tracking, deliverables, variation, claims, predictive alerts on different criteria, improved transparency and trust between the stakeholders, between the collaborating partners, organizational partners, which is one of the main reasons, again, communication and lack of transparency and trust along the project for disputes. Challenges on that side is still the data is fragmented across different aspects: legal accountability for AI generated advice, recommendations. It's a very hard area. And then resistance from a certain kind of nodes, specifically contract, maybe administrators or even some managers. What are the tools here we can use? Toggle AI is a tool that helps in automated quantity surveying and specifically building BOQ, so bills of quantities. KPMG, Clara, and LegalFly help us as in the legal predictive analytics, insights, and recommendation. And a tool which is quite interesting and comes from the similar environment as we come, Southeastern Europe, and that's called Lupa. Helps us with different sort of e-exploration, digital exploration of all sorts of documents, so including contracts and schedules, and it works well with PDFs and all file formats. So please, you can explore, of course, all of these. And then we mentioned again BuildDots and NPlan. We mentioned them earlier, but here we mentioned them because they have predictive features. And these features are related, BuildDots for progress tracking, so predictive project performance, and NPlan as well on that side. Strategy here, recommendation. Use this tool, we are aware, I'm aware, this might be, further from your current status of digital kind of maturity within the company, within the organization. So use these for insight, for exploration. And once it provides different tools, provide recommendations, provide analysis, again, use that for insight, not automatically approval, check it. And start with checking where your data, structuring data. AI can help even if you have not that much structured data, which is often the case. So it's really helpful because it can structure the data and present. So jump one step ahead and present you meaningful insights even without that much structured data, and then try to pilot predictive dashboards of these different types, or try to make your own with Power BI and other sources of AI tools behind. So that was trend 4, prediction. Trend 3 and trend 4 were predictive oriented. And what is this one? It's even an older movie, if you remember. It's kind of seminal for our generation. It's from '98. I think you're aware, probably. It's a Terminator. And the question I pose here is basically, we were mentioning so far, the role from different sides of how AI supports us humans, but what is happening with humans in the time of AI? So where are we as humans? Are we endangered? Are we in danger? So that's what this image, depicts here. And the answer or some information I offer here, it's even more vital perspective of humans in the time of AI, and that's a trend. So what about us? What about humans? We are here to stay. Of course, technology just amplifies our capabilities. And I mentioned before, judgment, creativity, and ethics, please not forget, remain uniquely in our domain, in human domains. So the most successful organizations, in my view, would be the ones that thoughtfully integrate AI whilst preserve the human expertise that defines excellence in engineering and will still define excellence in our field. And then the question is where to find and how to build and nurture excellence. It's not that easy. I mentioned the turnover in our industry is on average even up to 50% in recent couple of years. So platforms like our platform, Oruk, specifically with the new aspect we develop, and that's AI Mobility Hub, but also other solutions, of course, much bigger than we are. Beamery and Deal support with this, where to find, where to build, nurture excellence. So these tools can support you with intelligent matching, either if you're on the digital side, searching for, next good projects, destinations, career building steps. With global reach, our industries was and always is about mobility. From the time of ancient Egypt to nowadays, we have moved for projects. It's not like tech industry where there are a lot much more reluctant to move, we move for our projects, and that would stay as part of the industry of AI. Support remote working, but site work with all robots, with all innovation aspects would still require expertise that would move for projects. Tools, some of the tools help with automated compliance and specifically faster deployment in these times. So just two screens from what we develop currently, and that's from the individual side, from the individual engineer's side. You can look for destinations where your skills and expertise match well. So if that's Middle East, you can look for projects where your skills would be perfectly match, and you get the mobility score. You can explore opportunities directly your job, use AI search and recommendations, predictive ones as well, for to be recommended, but then also be supported on the whole process of getting this job, applying, getting this job, and all the side hustles related to that, but sometimes very important or more important just a job, and that's taking care of your family while looking for another opportunity. So relocation toolkit, for example, in UAE, you can see housing costs, insurance, schooling, very important, living costs, and then partners who can support you along the way. And then also recommended other destinations where you might be a better fit. From the company side, if you flip a coin, you can then search people and set talent pipelines, not only from the pools available on the market, that's for sure, that's the first place you would look at, but then if there are no adequate matching talent that place, you can set pipelines to get expertise you need from another close or a bit further places, based on how well they're matched, based on how advanced are these engineers, experts in their mobility score. Then in terms of this, we just recently launched a survey, a research, which is not just for this moment to answer to. Please be free to answer to either now or a bit later. It's less than 5 minutes, and it's actually exploring the expected or fair salary for construction, engineering related positions in your country context. So we explore multiple countries here. Countries where we can match with some opportunities and offers, but also countries that are interesting for the construction industry. So please help us. You will in turn get, by conducting this small survey, you will in turn, if you wish, get the result summary once the survey is completed. It will be completed in a month or so altogether. But please, you can also share this. There is a link. My colleague Sonia would share this link also in the comments for this session, and it will still remain open for this couple of next weeks. So please do join us, do share results and get to share expectations, what is a fair salary, and get results, insights. Might be interesting for you as companies or team leaders, managers, but also individually, what is expected fair salary benchmarks for different positions. You will see, and it's a quite short survey in these terms, in a couple of minutes only. Okay, so we come to this whole session. I haven't mentioned specifically, but it has been set as less than one hour, so 50 minutes of duration of kind of my speech here, recommendation, trends, and then if there would be questions, please pose them. If there are questions, if there have been, I'm not monitoring the thread exactly now, but we'll check it. And Sonia is there; she will transfer as well. So if there are questions, we can address them in the couple of minutes by the full hour, and then we'll end this session as the full hour session. So I hope you get a good value from out of it. So my kind of concluding lines beyond these 5 trends we've covered here directly related to AI, I want to focus on recommending some advice on how to improve or keep your organizational performance adequate in times of, there is a famous movie, times of cholera, times of AI, as I mentioned, as it comes as a big opportunity, and also on the other side, a bit scary. So we've seen it defines or redefines roles, leadership, and strategy. So what we can say about that? We can say firstly that there is surely a new reality in terms of organizational structure and organizational model. And you might have heard about this. So they speak a lot about diamond structure as a new structure, which is opposed to pyramid structure or a triangle structure, which was a kind of a traditional functional organizational structure, very hierarchical one. I'm not supporter of that, but I'm just explaining what is a trend we see here. They say previously it was a pyramid, or currently it is a pyramid structure where we have, at the top level, high level of managers, very few people, and a lot of people at the base as juniors. Now the AI cuts the lower levels, so we get this diamond kind of shape. And it surely is a trend in many areas and in our industry as well. Maybe in our industry, not that much as in other industry. Maybe in design, yes. In consultancy, yes. In site work, in construction, in contracting, not that much. But I have another advice here. Instead of thinking this is a situation that is coming, of course, we cannot do much. But we can do a lot in terms of adapting our organizational structure in the construction field, even without AI disruption. We've been captured in the 20th century, I like to emphasize that also in my lectures, by having very strict functional organizational structures that come from military, typically, traditionally, and very captured also in bureaucratic ways of doing things in many aspects. So we should move ourselves towards more contemporary organizational structures, which are defined as matrix structure. Even that's a bit old, but at least that. And if possible, further on into network-based structure, project oriented organizational structures, and organic structure, which can be looked upon from IT, the project-oriented businesses. Of course, construction has multiple specific elements or characteristics of our projects, but nevertheless, many aspects are possible to implement. And I can expand on this. We can explore this in a separate session, or please do write if you're interested in getting to know how and what. Gives us comments also what you would like to hear maybe as further trends uncovered, or in more details, tools, or these aspects. I'm kind of guessing here and trying to provide value for both, operational staff and construction staff who are there in the field, but also managers, project managers, and maybe more senior staff here. So move from, pyramid structure in any way, toward diamonds, and then towards matrix and network, if possible. Within companies, build on AI literacy. It doesn't go without organized effort. Do not just leave that to individual staff, even to teams. And by that, we mean invest into, small training programs, into automated programs, allow reflection. It's very important. I, again, learned this experience from academic experience, from university fleets, where reflection is very important, and we have part of that reflection needs as part of the assessments. So students need to reflect on a module, their experience, their journey, what outcomes have they achieved, what they have not achieved. Enable atmosphere, culture, organization, and time allowance, where engineers and colleagues could reflect on what they use, how they used it, what were the benefits, what were the risks, what were the challenges. And this will be very helpful, believe me. And then iterate and reiterate. It doesn't go without that. Third advice here, beyond trends, we need to think about integrating AI with humans in terms of work. We should be careful in vocabulary. So I say here co-workers, AI as co-workers. It's a question mark if we ever gonna treat them and empower them as co-workers, and probably we shouldn't do that. But we will have to integrate these two aspects, human employees and performance, and AI performance. There are many jokes also on this side, but one thing is for sure, that there are new ecosystems of these blended expertise, and we already mentioned what is considered to be more AI contribution, what is considered to be human contribution that will not go away. And then the fourth advice here: collaborate, not only within organizations, but collaborate with partners, with typical stakeholders you have, but also with startups. Please outreach them. Consider, partnering with them to develop something or use something in the way you need it, to fix your need, not just to apply, confectionery solution, one size fits all. And in doing so, try to look in strategic sense, I like to emphasize that very often, for a blue ocean. Do we know what the blue ocean is? In strategic terms, blue ocean is a place, is an ocean, is a field, is a sea, where as opposed to red oceans, where there are many fishes and not that many fish for us, in blue ocean, we are kind of alone, finding a niche, finding a place where we can catch more for ourselves. And there is not that much competition. So I think this blending, adopting these trends, being aware of these trends, exploring them, using this advice, if you wish, some of this advice selected, and the aspects we discussed before, to have in mind strategic directioning of your team, of your business, of your career. That's a very important aspect. Always have that in mind. Towards what is kind of exquisite and new field. And there are not many competitors. So new service, adopted service, changed service, a new type of projects. For example, if you're a contractor, please focus on data centers. They're related in a way to AI, but it's a huge field of building expertise and a pipeline of jobs projects. Just one of the things. We can name these examples also. We can organize another session that. And so these are my recommendations. And for the end, I just like to mention about the future of work and about the work in the future. You can use a resource that many of us have very close, nearby, and that's our kids, younger generation, students, who see the future often much clearer than us. And I experimented with that. And please, I ask you to do the same. Ask your kids how they see the work in the future. And you will be, I guarantee you, surprised what you will get. For example, I asked my 12-year-old kid and his friend, they were playing a game, and I asked them, how you see the work in the future when you start to work properly? I mean, not just the house chores. And they straight away, without looking at me, like this side view that kids typically have. So they said like, oh, in the future, we expect like more games, so more playing, less work. So these are so clearly defined, expectations, if nothing else, but also trends. They can see these trends more clear than we do. And then after thinking a bit, one of them said also, but like, yeah, and I also, what I wouldn't like is that, people use ChatGPT so much nowadays. If they continue to do so and more, wouldn't they like become a bit addicted or like not wanting to do anything because ChatGPT can do everything? So I wouldn't like them to like lose purpose. Maybe I'm putting words now, these additional words, but like losing purpose. We know, social media have been so addictive, and there are issues with that. And then if you take this forward, mental health as a thing, taking care of your mental health, a bit of meditation, a bit of mindfulness in the work, I think is also one important recommendation we should have in mind, both as individuals and as businesses. So not to end up with this kind of trend that kids can see. So with that in mind, closing this kind of thought